Miraculous Timelessness in the Quantum Realm, 3 divine revelations that transform everything. In the shadows of the quaint English village, Albertton, a light glimmered in St. Jude's Church. An ethereal glow, like the dawn breaking after a long night, shone upon Emma as she knelt in fervent prayer. Her heart felt the weight of the world, burdened by Samuel's diagnosis, yet in that moment, she sensed something divine stirring. Could it be? A ripple in time, an echo of miracles yet unseen? The whispers of hope swirled around her, beckoning her to embrace something beyond the tangible. As she lifted her gaze, a wisp of smoke from a nearby candle twisted like a dancer, forming shapes of angels in flight. The warm scent of beeswax enveloped her, wrapping her in a cocoon of holy comfort. Each flicker of the flame seemed to pulsing with life, reminding her of the pulse of faith that ran through the village, a faith she had leaned on for years. Yet the chilling prognosis rang in her ears, and doubt seeped like shadow into her heart. Words spread like wildfire about the miraculous healing prayers. Emma watched as her friends clasped hands, lifted voices, their harmonies intertwining in a tapestry of hope. "God still performs wonders!" the pastor exclaimed, his voice resonating with conviction. That declaration ignited something within her, a flicker of the miraculous she hadn't felt in ages. Surrounded by a sea of fervent believers, she began to glimpse signs of grace, unexpected blooms sprouting amidst winter, fresh hymns echoing through the chilly air, lending a warmth to the coldest nights. Yet, amidst the budding hope, her mother's voice loomed, cautious and concerned, warning Emma against false hopes. Despite her mother's love, each word felt like a barrier to Emma's growing faith. The strain between them twisted her heart like a vine suffocating a tree. Would her steadfast devotion to prayer lead her astray? Was she chasing shadows instead of the light? Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. That night of the prayer vigil, the church was a sanctuary illuminated by countless candles, the air thick with a sense of expectancy. Emma's heart raced as she knelt, pouring out her fears to the heavens. Suddenly, the air crackled, as if the very atmosphere vibrated with impending revelation. A hush fell over the congregation, the kind of silencing that left room for divine whispers. And then it happened! A gentle breeze swept through the church, despite its closed doors. People gasped, others reached instinctively for one another. They felt it too, the presence of something greater, alive among them. It was in that sacred moment that Emma caught her breath. Hope enveloped her like a warm embrace, igniting every corner of her heart. As Samuel's name flowed out with her tears, the scent of flowers filled the air, and the altar glowed brightly, illuminating her spirit. But as joy danced through the room, a question lingered in the depths of Emma's heart. What did this miracle mean? Was it a simple moment of divine reassurance, or was it the beginning of a greater transformation yet to be revealed? As the congregation united in holy awe, her heart wrestled with beautiful unknowns. Faith was on the brink of something more, leaving her yearning for clarity, as hope gathered in droves around the flickering light. The next morning dawned with a light as soft as prayer itself. Emma awoke with the warmth of last night's gathering still lingering in her heart. The sun broke through her window, cascading golden rays that winked playfully at her. She felt a strange blend of peace and anticipation, as if the universe was holding its breath, waiting for her next steps. As she made her way to St. Jude's Church later that day, a sense of urgency tugged at her spirit. The streets of Albertton were alive, gestures of kindness and faith woven into exchanges between neighbors. The smiles she encountered felt like threads connecting her to something much larger than herself, a tapestry of hope. The mingled scent of fresh bread from the bakery and the sound of laughter from children playing made her heart swell as she walked the familiar path. Upon arriving at the church, Emma found her friend Hannah sitting on the steps, her fingers nervously twisting a rosary. There was a spark of concern in Hannah's eyes as Emma approached. Have you heard about Samuel? She asked softly. Emma's heart dropped, dread pooling in her stomach. No, what happened? They say he has taken a turn for the worse. Hannah spoke, her voice trembling. His family is really struggling, Emma. They're worried he might not make it through the week. A chill ran through Emma, but she took a deep breath. Momentarily taken by surprise, she felt her heart clench against the news in a way that mirrored the tightness she had sensed the night before. We have to pray harder then. We have to believe, she responded, her voice stronger than she felt inside. We need the whole village to join us. The urgency of her words seemed to ignite a fire in Hannah's eyes. Yes. We need to gather people. A prayer circle. Tonight again? Yes. Tonight, Emma affirmed, determination enveloping her. She could feel the weight of the village resting upon her shoulders, but alongside it, she recognized the weight of divine purpose, a call to action intertwined with fervent faith. That evening, the church became a haven once more. Emma looked around, seeing so many familiar faces, hearts forming a community of unwavering belief. Their voices rose in a chorus of prayers, trembling yet confident, and the very stones of St. Jude's seemed to absorb their fervor, echoing it back into the ether. As they prayed, the air hummed with vitality. Emma shuddered, a surge of warmth flooding through her. She closed her eyes, and visions of light cascaded across her mind. A brighter dawn, laughter from children, the warm embrace of a mother, all painted a picture of hope, promising something miraculous just beyond the horizon. Yet amid this collective strength, doubt brushed against her like a whispering wind. What if Samuel's healing did not arrive as they fervently wished? Would their faith hold firm in the face of trial? As she considered this, the church doors creaked open, a gust of air sweeping through that felt a little different than before, more potent, more alive. Emma opened her eyes and scanned the faces around her, each reflecting the faith of countless generations. They were shoulder to shoulder, united in purpose, stepping boldly toward the light even as shadows loomed. But she couldn't shake the sense that they stood on the edge of an unexpected precipice. What awaited them on the other side? As they concluded their prayer, a soft rustle of leaves outside caught her attention. In the flickering candlelight, she felt a pulse of hope rumbling beneath her, urging her to hold on to that divine thread knotted in her heart. What was to come was still a mystery waiting to unfold, and as they emerged into the night, a single question remained: might tonight bring the miracle they so desperately sought, or was it the path toward a deeper understanding of faith they had yet to explore? The night was thick with anticipation as lanterns flickered like stars against the inky sky. Emma stepped out of St. Jude's, her heart racing with fervent hope. The air felt charged, an unseen energy weaving through the warm summer night. The whispers of prayer still clung to her like a soothing balm, the vibration settling deep within her spirit. As the congregation began to disperse, Emma caught sight of an elderly woman leaning against the weathered church wall. It was Mrs. Thompson, a woman known for her wise words and deep well of faith. She beckoned Emma closer, her voice a gentle breeze that carried both warmth and depth. "Child," she said, "you have the fire of belief in your eyes. Don't let it flicker out." Emma nodded, her spirit lifted by the seasoned woman's encouragement. "We're praying for Samuel. He's fighting hard, but it feels burdensome, like faith is a mountain to climb." Mrs. Thompson smiled, her eyes twinkling like clear waters. "Faith moves mountains, sweet one. And sometimes the mountain's purpose is not just to be climbed, but to teach us to trust the path beneath our feet. Remember, in times of uncertainty, stillness can reveal the way forward." Those words hung in the air, settling in Emma's heart with a weighty significance. She realized that in their fervent prayers for Samuel's healing, her community was also being transformed. Each prayer lifted was a stitch in a sacred fabric, a united declaration of hope and resilience. As she turned to go home, a flicker of movement caught her eye. Light danced between the trees, beckoning her. Curiosity piqued, Emma followed, stepping off the worn path and into the lush embrace of nature. The soft modulation of crickets and the rustling leaves created a melody that resonated within her. Before she knew it, Emma found herself standing in a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. Unfamiliar but soothing fragrances enveloped her. In the center stood a figure illuminated with radiant light, an angelic presence. She gasped, awestruck by the purity before her. Emma! The voice rang like gentle thunder, reverberating through her very core. Your prayers have been heard. But remember, prayer is not just a request, it's a conversation. It's a sacred rhythm of trust and surrender. Emma felt a warmth radiate from the figure, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. Tears brimmed in her eyes as she struggled to absorb the profound weight of the moment. Will Samuel be all right? Will he heal? She implored, her voice barely above a whisper. The angel gestured towards the still night sky, pointing to the luminous stars that twinkled with unfathomable wisdom. Healing encompasses more than the body. It stretches into the soul, weaving lessons into every life. Trust the divine plan that unfurls, however mysterious it may seem. With those words echoing in her heart, the figure began to fade, much like a dream slipping away. Emma was left standing alone, the glowing light illuminating the path before her. She felt a sense of calm rush over her, flooding her with newfound understanding. As she made her way back home, the heaviness of her earlier doubts had softened into a gentle reassurance. She was part of something grander, a divine tapestry intricately woven with faith, hope, and love. Yet, as she reached her doorstep, a whisper pricked at her heart. What if this was only the beginning? The healing they sought might take forms unknown to them. Was their understanding of faith ready to expand further? The night was still alive with unanswered questions, echoing softly around her. Would they accept the unfolding of something new and wondrous, or resist what the divine hand had in store? The air around her shimmered with possibilities. Emma felt the gentle nudge of the Spirit, inviting her into the next chapter of their journey, one that was yet to be revealed. The dawn broke with a golden hue, casting long shadows across Emma's neighborhood. The night's encounter echoed in her mind, mingling with the morning light. It felt as if everything around her pulsed with an unspoken promise, whispering of divine possibilities. As she prepared breakfast, the smell of warm bread filled her home, intertwining with her thoughts. What would healing truly look like? Concrete improvement for Samuel? Or something deeper? She felt the softness of hope, cradled by her memories of the angel's words. It stirred a longing in her to understand the breadth of faith, pushing her to ponder beyond the immediate realm. Emma decided to visit Samuel that afternoon. She took her time walking through the streets, letting the sun kiss her skin, bringing warmth not just to her body, but to her spirit. Each step felt intentional, as if she was walking on holy ground, a journey guided by unseen hands. Upon reaching Samuel's home, Emma found his mother, Lydia, in the garden. The sight of her friend, dirt-smudged and weary, tugged at Emma's heart. "How are you holding up, Lydia?" she asked gently. Lydia's smile was bittersweet, a mix of gratitude and despair. "Some days are better than others. Today feels heavy." Her gaze fell to the vibrant flowers that bloomed defiantly in the sunlight, contrasting with her worry. Emma sat beside her, taking her hands. "We're praying for him. You are not alone in this." For a moment they sat in silence, letting the breeze carry their whispered prayers to heaven. The tender stillness spoke volumes, lingering in the air. Emma could see Lydia's tense shoulders begin to relax, hope weaving its way back into her heart. Later, they entered Samuel's room. It was dim, the curtains drawn tight against the world outside. The rhythmic sound of his breath grounded Emma's resolve. She approached his bedside, heart in her throat. He was paler than she remembered, but the strength in his spirit flickered like a candle against the shadows. "Samuel," she whispered, animated with purpose. "We're here. We're praying for you." She squeezed his hand, feeling its warmth, a connection that transcended words. Closing her eyes, she poured her heart out in prayer, seeking a miracle. Each word became a thread, weaving a tapestry of faith around Samuel. As she prayed, an unexpected spark ignited within her. It was as if the air thickened with divine energy. Suddenly, she recalled the angel's assurance about trust and surrender. It washed over her like a wave breaking at the shore. "God, we trust in your perfect plan," she breathed, surrendering her fears. The atmosphere shifted. Emma felt a warmth envelop the room, and she opened her eyes to see a soft glow surrounding Samuel. It was subtle yet potent, radiating from him like a beacon of light. Lydia gasped beside her, eyes wide with wonder. "What is this?" Lydia's voice trembled. I think something is happening," Emma murmured, all laden. The glow intensified, filling every corner of the room, pushing through cracks in the heavy curtains. It was as if time itself had paused, having gathered in anticipation. Hope surged through Emma's heart. Was this a sign? Was the divine presence reaching into their reality? As they both stood, captivated, Samuel's fingers began to twitch. "Samuel!" Lydia's voice broke with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. But just as quickly as it arose, the glow flickered like a candle's flame caught in the wind. Samuel's breathing steadied, and the moment seemed to stretch, hanging in the air like dew on the morning grass. Had anything truly changed? Or was it merely a glimpse of what could be? Emma felt the weight of divine mystery settling in her heart. It intertwined with the questions still lingering deep within her. What more was in store for Samuel, for their faith, and for their understanding of the miraculous? As the room returned to its previous stillness, a question echoed within Emma's soul: what if this was not the end, but merely the initiation of a greater journey, a leap into faith that transcended their wildest imaginations? The air crackled with anticipation, leaving Emma and Lydia gripped by the uncharted territory ahead. What transformations lay in wait? Emma pondered deeply, her spirit ignited, ready to step forward. Days passed, and the air continued to thrum with untapped potential. Emma found herself returning to Samuel's room, filled with a quiet determination. Each visit stirred her spirit, igniting the flicker of faith like the sun stirs the morning dew. Deep within, she sensed that every moment brought fresh insight, a heavenly dance unfolding before their eyes. One afternoon, as she held Samuel's hand, she felt an unusual energy coursing through her palms. This wasn't just warmth, it was connection, a bridge between her faith and something far greater. She closed her eyes, tuning her heart to the quiet rhythm of prayer. "Lord," she breathed, "show us the path. Envelop Samuel in your grace. Let it transform his being." As she prayed, colors danced behind her eyelids, soft blues, vibrant yellows, and deep purples that seemed to swirl in harmony. A melody echoed in her mind, gentle yet firm, calling her to awaken further. She opened her eyes, startled but hopeful. Samuel lay there, still and unresponsive, yet something about the air felt charged with promise. "Emma?" Lydia's voice broke the reverie, laced with wonder. "Do you feel that?" "Yes," Emma responded, her pulse quickening. It's as if the words faltered. She struggled to articulate the stirring within her heart. "It's like heaven is touching us here." Lydia nodded slowly, her eyes brightening with understanding. "There's a shift. We must hold on to this." Day by day, they continued their prayers with fervor. The whispers of hope wound around them, filling the spaces left hollow by worry. Emma began to see visions not just for Samuel, but for everyone involved. The struggles, the prayers, the intertwining lives, all woven into a grand design, the tapestry of God's love. Then came a moment, hanging thick with anticipation. As Emma squeezed Samuel's hand tightly, she closed her eyes again, immersing herself in the flow of energy. "Lord, if it is your will, let your healing light shine through." At that moment, a spark of understanding seized her. What if healing encompassed not just the physical realm but the emotional and spiritual? What if the very act of trusting God transformed them all? She opened her eyes just in time to see Samuel's fingers twitch again, not merely a flicker but a deliberate movement. Hope surged anew within her. "Samuel!" she gasped. Lydia pressed closer. "Can you feel us, Samuel?" Tears brimmed in her eyes. With each moment, Emma felt as if they were on the edge of something monumental, a cliff overhanging the depths of God's grace. She leaned closer, her heart locked with Samuel's. "You are loved, you are not alone, and you are surrounded." And then, as if answering her call, the air shifted once more. A gentle breeze swept through the room, stirring the curtains. It felt like a sigh, a breath of heaven manifesting right before their eyes. The warm glow enveloped Samuel anew, radiating life and love and possibility. "Look!" Lydia breathed, pointing, urgency lacing her words. Samuel's eyelids began to flutter, his brow furrowing slightly as if waking from a profound dream. Emma felt her heart race. Could it be? But then, the glow faltered, dimming like a fading star. Emma squeezed Samuel's hand tightly, as though by sheer will she could bring the light back. "God, don't let this be fleeting," she pleaded, tears now streaming down her cheeks. Maybe it's not just about him," Lydia mused, her voice steady. "What if our faith is being molded in all of this? What if this journey transforms us just as much as it does Samuel?" The thought lingered, interwoven with the depth of their desires. Healing was more than just Samuel waking up. It was seeing the divine in every struggle, the heaven in each heartbeat. As their hearts intertwined in prayer once more, a deeper realization dawned. Could the very act of faith itself be a transformative healing? Emma felt a ripple of courage ignite within her, reaching to the depths of their souls. What if this was merely the beginning? The thread of divine mystery spun around them, drawing them toward a future filled with unknowns. What awaited on this sacred path? Emma took a deep breath, knowing the journey had barely begun, and the adventure was just unfolding. Every day brought a new layer of expectancy for Emma and Lydia. The hours spent in Samuel's room felt timeless, each moment stretching and bending, as if pinned between two worlds, the visible and the divine. Emma found herself lost in prayer more often now, each whisper a bead on a string of hope, intertwining their lives with God's unfolding purpose. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting amber hues through the window, Emma sensed a palpable shift in the atmosphere. She could almost taste the sweetness of faith hanging like ripe fruit on a vine. It was more than just the hum of activity around Samuel. It was the stirring of something deeply spiritual, cocooning them in truth and light. "Emma," Lydia's softer tone pierced the stillness. "What do you think is holding Samuel back from waking fully?" Emma hesitated, her heart heavy. "I think it's the barriers we construct when we doubt. Our fears, our questions, they can be walls, can't they?" "Yes," Lydia mused, her voice trembling slightly. "Then we must dismantle them. What if we prayed for breakthroughs, not just for Samuel's healing, but for our belief itself?" The idea ignited a fire within Emma, illuminating possibilities beyond what she had considered. They knelt together, hands clasped in fervent unity. "Lord," Emma cried out, her voice ringing with passion, "tear down the walls. Let faith arise. Let us see your glorious plan unfold, regardless of what our eyes perceive." In that moment, a soft luminescence began to pulse in the room, like the heartbeat of heaven itself. Emma could almost see it wrapping around Samuel, lifting him softly. It was as if each prayer was a key, the unlocking of a door to a deeper understanding of love and healing. Thunder rumbled faintly outside, reverberating through the ground, and yet, within her heart, peace reigned. "Don't mistake the tempest for the end," she recalled a sermon from years ago. "God's power can be most evident in the storm." "Do you hear it?" Lydia whispered, her breath quickening. "The thunder, it's like a sign, isn't it?" Emma nodded, eyes wide with realization. "It is. It's an affirmation. He is with us." Yet, on the brink of hope, fear wiggled its way back into Emma's mind. What if they were grasping at wisps of smoke? What if their yearning fell short? She silenced the doubts, declaring with renewed faith, "No. We will trust. Trust deeper than ever." In that crucial moment, she took a deep breath and shared the thoughts racing inside her. What if our prayers are channeling through the very fabric of creation? Spiraling through time, bridging the gap between earthly limitations and heavenly possibilities? Lydia's face lit with excitement. That's it. What if we're participating in something far grander? Could our faith change not only Samuel but wave outward, touching lives we haven't even met yet? Emma felt a deep stirring in her soul, an invitation to embrace boundless faith. She could sense the divine energy wrapping around them, as if God was orchestrating a symphony beyond their understanding. Their prayers were not just for Samuel. They were shaping destinies, drawing hope across generations. As the glow around Samuel grew brighter, a moment of stillness fell over everything. The atmosphere thickened, almost palpable, filled with a present yet unseen majesty. Time melted away, and in that sacred space, the confines of what was possible began to blur. Then, a sound broke through. A breathy whisper that echoed like a gentle wave rippling through their hearts. The very air buzzed with anticipation, urging them to stay in tune with the divine rhythm. Samuel, Emma whispered again, her voice both a plea and declaration. Come back to us. As Lydia squeezed her hand, both young women felt a unifying pulse, each heartbeat resonating with hope and faith. A knowing gleamed in their spirits that this moment was not an ending, but a transition into the miracles waiting just beyond their sight. What lay ahead was shrouded in divine mystery, trembling on the edge of revelation. The very heart of God beckoned them deeper. What was about to be revealed in Samuel's journey could just redefine everything they believed. The energy thickened, pregnant with possibility, as they waited for God's movement to unfold. Would this be the moment divine intervention arrived? A hush settled over the room, blanketing Emma and Lydia in a serene tranquility. In that charged atmosphere, every crackle of energy felt like an invitation to step deeper into the sacred unfolding. Their hearts beat in unison, syncing with the rhythm of hope that hovered just out of reach. Can you feel it? Lydia whispered, eyes gleaming with unshed tears. I feel like something extraordinary is about to happen. Emma nodded, her pulse quickening. Yes, it's as if heaven itself is leaning in, waiting for us to call upon it. In that moment, she envisioned dreams unfolding like a tapestry woven together by divine hands, threads of prayer intricately intertwined with love, mercy, and miracles. Drawing a breath that tasted of possibility, Emma closed her eyes. Lord, we open ourselves to your revelation. May your light shine forth and break through any darkness surrounding Samuel. We stand in faith, trusting that our prayers reach far beyond this room. As she spoke, a warmth enveloped them both, a divine embrace. The pulse around Samuel intensified, flickering with a heartbeat that seemed to echo the very core of their faith. Emma's heart soared as she sensed the walls separating the earthly from the heavenly beginning to dissolve. Suddenly, a voice broke through the stillness, not loud but clear. Belief is the bridge. The words floated in the air, ethereal and powerful, sending chills cascading through both women. What? Lydia breathed, astonished. Did you hear that? Emma's heart surged with recognition. Yes. It's a reminder. When we believe, we create paths for miracles. Our faith can manifest what seems impossible. Emboldened by the whispered truth, they plunged once more into fervent prayer. Lord, help us to believe fiercely, Lydia exclaimed, her spirit igniting the atmosphere. Help us to diminish our doubts until only faith remains. The luminous presence surrounding Samuel pulsed boldly now, growing brighter, encircling him as if drenching him in a sacred light. Emma envisioned barriers crumbling, illusions of doubt melting away, leaving room for the miraculous to enter. Their combined prayers fanned the flames of divine expectancy. In that moment, Emma felt an overwhelming sense of purpose settle on her. Our belief isn't just for Samuel, she declared, her voice firm with newfound clarity. It's for our community, our families, for everyone who has felt their hope flicker under the weight of despair. Yes, Lydia agreed, vibrating with excitement. It's the ripple effect. Our healing can spread forth like wildfire, igniting lost souls to find their way back to hope. The thunder outside roared in response, the storm a reflection of the divine forces at play. Emma glanced toward the window, seeing dark clouds swirl with electric energy. God is moving. Can you feel it? She asked, her eyes alight with fervor. But within that exhilaration lay the shadow of fear. What if all this was an illusion? What if they were reaching for something that could never be grasped? Yet, she swiftly extinguished those thoughts, grounding herself in faith. We will trust, Lydia, even when doubts try to creep in. At that moment, an intense light flashed in the room, illuminating Samuel in a brilliance that felt almost like a spotlight from heaven itself. They gasped as his fingers twitched, a subtle but unmistakable sign that echoed louder than words. Samuel! They cried in unison, their voices ringing like bells of hope. Lydia squeezed Emma's hand tightly, their spirits intertwined, as they felt the tug of anticipation swirl around them. "Are you coming back to us?" she whispered, longing hanging thick in the air. The light began to pulse rhythmically, synchronizing with Samuel's heart. Emma's breath caught in her throat. All that she had hoped for was within grasp, hovering just beyond sight, shimmering like a promise. But at the edge of that miracle, a question lingered, hanging heavy in the air like the scent of rain before a storm. How deep was their faith, really? Would they witness the divine resolve they prayed for, or would they be called to wait still longer? Tomorrow held the answer within its mysterious folds, and little did they know, the journey was far from over. What other revelations awaited them, hidden in the depths of God's plan? Emma and Lydia stood at the threshold of hope, inches away from witnessing a miracle unfurl before them. The air hummed, charged with divine energy that wrapped around them like a soft, encouraging whisper. The pulsating light enveloping Samuel throbbed in a mesmerizing rhythm, a heartbeat that seemed to echo as much from their souls as from his. "Can you feel it?" Lydia asked again, her voice trembling with awe. "The love in this room, it's overwhelming." "Yes," Emma replied, her eyes brightening further as tears of joy pricked the corners. "It feels like the whole universe is stretching out just for us, showing us how great God's love can truly be." As they gazed, the light brightened even more, flickering wildly, as if dancing to the beat of their collective faith. Emma couldn't help but think of how love had the power to bridge even the greatest chasms. This was not merely a moment for Samuel. It was a testament to the boundless capacity of belief. "What if he wakes?" Lydia murmured, hope fluttering like the wings of a delicate butterfly within her chest. "What if?" "Then we will rejoice," Emma interrupted softly, "and we will share this gift with everyone who needs a reminder of God's power." Their hearts swelled with anticipation, but it was quickly met with the creeping doubts of reality. A gnawing fear, faint yet persistent, stirred within Emma, edging its way to the forefront. What if Samuel remained unresponsive? What if their trust in this moment was proven misplaced? But then came a gentle gust of wind, its whisper bearing warmth. "Fear not," it seemed to say, as if urging her to release those doubts into the embrace of the Spirit. "Believe, just believe," Lydia encouraged, sensing Emma's hesitance. "Remember, distractions are just that, temporary. Focus on the miracle unfolding in front of us." Emma clenched her fists, determination surging through her veins. "Yes, let us continue, Lydia. Each prayer sends ripples into eternity. Let us fill this space with our unwavering faith." As they returned to their prayers, the atmosphere shifted. Quietly, the darkness outside began to part, revealing strands of light penetrating the storm. It felt like a physical manifestation of the hope inside them, an echo of faith that refused to falter. In sync, they cried out, "Lord, we trust in your plan. Fill our hearts and Samuel's with the strength to rise." As those words left their lips, something profound occurred. The room grew brighter still. Samuel's fingers twitched again. His eyelids fluttered slightly. Emma, caught in the moment, felt the divine presence wrapping around her. It was palpable, a vivid reminder of love's transformative essence. With each flicker of Samuel showed a response, Emma and Lydia joined hands, intertwining their faith more tightly. It felt as if they together formed a living rope, a link in the chain of believers reaching into that vast expanse of possibility. "Remember the bridge," Emma whispered intensely, glancing toward Lydia with an ember of determination ready to ignite. "Our belief is a bridge, and it leads to miracles." The wind picked up, swirling around them with a new intensity, urging them to lean into the energy racing through the room. "Focus on the light," Lydia shouted, her voice breaking through the tumult of her heart. "It's alive!" Samuel's vision began to clear as he fought against the shadows of uncertainty. The flickering light began to materialize into a clear path, a pathway illuminated by hope and adorned with prayers. Emma felt a rush of emotions. It was a tide washing over her, revealing their truths even further. But just then, a sudden calm enveloped them, the intensity slowly fading into a cherished quiet. Was this a moment of solace, or a signal for something new? A nagging thought whispered amidst the peace. How far would their faith take them? Would they witness the breakthrough they so fervently prayed for? Lydia leaned in closer, her voice soft yet urgent. Emma, we have to stay the course. Whatever it takes. The air thick with expectation, their hearts brimming with determination, the women steeled themselves. They had opened the doors of faith, and now awaited the next revelation. What awaited them? What surprise did God have prepared next on this beautiful journey? With every beat of their hearts, they sensed their connection to each other, and to something greater still. In the midst of divine whispers, a spark of realization flickered in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. Would they be ready for it? The stillness stretched, wrapping around Emma and Lydia like a gentle cocoon. In that moment, the outside world faded away. Every worry, every doubt, seemed to dissipate like mist in the morning sun. They were left with only the pulsating presence of faith, the rhythmic heartbeat of the miracle unfolding before them. Look! Lydia gasped, pointing toward Samuel. The air shimmered, as if the light surrounding him had found a new way to express itself. It was not just flickering but dancing, twirling around them in vivid colors. Each hue sparkled like a note from a heavenly symphony, stirring their spirits further. Tears rolled down Emma's cheeks, a cascade of gratitude tumbling forth as she felt the sheer weight of God's love. It enveloped her, filling every crevice of her heart with a warmth that surpassed understanding. This is it, Lydia. Can you feel it? It's like a promise. Yes. Lydia exclaimed, her voice rising with excitement. A promise that we are not alone. Look how the light swells with our faith. It's all connected. In that resonating space, doubt found it hard to take root. Instead, clarity bloomed. Emma felt the profound truth. Their faith wasn't merely a fragile stream. It was the very essence of the divine river running through the universe. As if responding to their collective energy, Samuel's hand twitched once more. His eyelids slowly parted, revealing eyes that sparkled like stars just emerging into the night. A deep inhalation followed, the kind that carried the breath of 1,000 prayers. Samuel, Emma whispered, her heart racing as she moved closer. Can you hear us? A faint smile broke through Samuel's face, and with it, a graced understanding spread throughout the room. Emma, Lydia, his voice was but a whisper, a frail thread woven through the tapestry of their hope. What happened? God is with you, Lydia declared, almost leaping with joy. We prayed, and the light came. You have to believe in it, Emma added, watching in awe as the color surrounding Samuel expanded like a blooming flower. You're part of something bigger now. Together, we're part of this miracle. Samuel blinked, his gaze becoming more aware, piercing through the fog of uncertainty. For the first time, he fully comprehended not only their words but the divine significance behind them. The light that had embraced him was not merely a spectacle, it was a lifeline, pulsating with purpose and transformation. Together, he murmured, and with that single word, the atmosphere shifted. It resonated with a profound promise, the essence of unity, how each flicker and heartbeat spun the threads of faith together, entwining their lives forever. Yet, even in this magnificent moment, a gentle whisper brushed against Emma's mind. There's more than this, it seemed to say. A journey still awaits. Lydia, sensing Emma's contemplation, squeezed her hand tighter. What do you sense? She asked gently. Emma's heart swirled with questions, threads of possibility tightening around her. It felt like they had just opened the first door. What does God want us to do next? She pondered aloud, considering how miraculous beginnings often unfolded into greater stories yet to be told. As Samuel's strength grew, the light around him pulsed rhythmically, as if echoing back their fervor. The air thickened with divine possibility. What if? She hesitated, excitement mingling with curiosity. What if our journey is just beginning? What if we're called to share this, to show others how faith can awaken not just one person, but many? Suddenly, the room shifted again. A new luminous aura enveloped them, teasing the edges of the unknown, drawing them deeper into the sacred mystery. Are you ready to step forward? Samuel asked, a newfound strength and determination gleaming in his eyes. Are you ready to embrace whatever God has for us next? The question hung in the air, pulsating like the light surrounding them. Emma and Lydia exchanged glances, each heart thumping with anticipation. They were standing on the edge of a vast frontier, uncertain yet brimming with promise. What awaited them in this divine exploration? What revelations were being birthed through their shared faith? One thing was clear: the journey, illuminated by miracles, was about to take an unexpected turn. What surprises lay ahead? The sun began to set, casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the sky, a vivid reminder of new beginnings. The warmth tasted like a promise on Emma's lips, wrapping around her spirit as she looked into Samuel's eyes. This moment was just a portal into what lay ahead. She could feel it coursing through her like electricity, a divine current urging them to explore the expanse of faith, the depths of hope. "Are you ready?" Samuel's voice, stronger than before yet still gentle, broke through the soft haze of prayer. With every heartbeat, he seemed to pulse with emerging life. "Yes. We are ready!" Emma and Lydia echoed, hands intertwined, hearts pounding in synchronicity. The air in the room shimmered as if affectionately holding the weight of their excitement. Yet alongside it lingered the humble sense of awe. How could they, simple souls, be entrusted with such a sacred journey? A sudden breeze swept through the half-open window, bringing the soft scent of blooming jasmine. It felt as if heaven itself had stirred, weaving through their lives, echoing the chorus of countless prayers. Hope erupted anew within Emma's chest, a blossom unfurling toward the light. "Let us not make this about just Samuel," Lydia suggested, her voice radiant with fierce determination. "Let us have our miracle reach not only him but ripple through this village, through every heart that feels burdened or lost." A spark ignited, illuminating the air with possibilities. "Yes!" Emma exclaimed, her voice threading through the vibrant glow. "We can carry this light, be guides for others. We'll show them how faith transformed us and how it can transform them." Samuel smiled, the faintest hint of strength behind him. "I might have been the one healing, but we are all interconnected in this divine web of grace. Let us turn our unexpected journey into a beacon of love." As they spoke of sharing their experience, the strength, the struggles, the uplifting moments, Emma felt each word become a prayer, knitting them close. The light grew thicker around them, a tapestry of hope knitting together, intertwining not just their lives but those of every individual in Albertton. With newfound clarity, they decided to organize a community gathering. It would be a space for prayer, for sharing stories of struggle, and testimonies of miracles, for inviting others to touch the glow of hope they had discovered. "Let us light up Street Judas again," Lydia suggested excitedly. "Let us make this an evening of divine expectancy." The excitement swirled around them like the brilliant colors in the sky. Joy melded with purpose as they set to work, inviting friends, neighbors, everyone burdened with their own shadows, hoping to gather souls in search of the light. As words spread rapidly across the village, that upcoming gathering promised to be unlike anything before. Emma was astounded at how many wished to join the collective uplift. Every person who grasped love and light was another thread woven into the fabric of hope. That night, as Emma and Lydia prepared St. Jude's for worship, there was an air of anticipation. Lanterns flickered like stars, illuminating the church as weathered stones, while whispers of prayer echoed softly, as if even the walls were alive with spirit. When the villagers drew close, hearts gathered like eager vines reaching for the sun. Emma and Lydia emerged with Samuel in tow, his spirit alight. They took to the altar, a platform of shared faith. "We've experienced something powerful and beautiful," Emma began, her voice strong yet tender, "but it is not just for us. It is for every one of you. Each of us has a story and a place waiting to intertwine with this journey." Lydia stepped forward, eyes bright with passion. "Together, we can confront the darkness, share our own miracles, and knit our hearts into a tapestry of unwavering faith. No longer are we alone, we are a family bound together by love." Samuel, standing tall, interjected softly, his voice now vibrant, "This is a time of healing unlike any other. When we unite and share the strength of our faith, we enable transformations beyond our wildest dreams, even across time." As the words threaded through the congregation, incredulous, yet transfixed by faith, they opened up. Stories began to unfurl, heartaches, victories, revelations. Each testimony became a spark, igniting fires of hope in those who would listen. That night was long, but it was alive with palpable warmth, laughter, tears, mouths that opened wide, faith that bloomed in radiant colors. Emma could hardly contain herself, seeing the miracle of transformation unfold, weaving itself through familiar faces and new friends alike. Together they prayed, binding their hearts and souls in a chorus that resonated through the heavens. The air thickened with divinity, swirling around them, igniting warmth, leading to the understanding that they were indeed part of something far greater. The divine flow continued to unfurl when, as they prayed, a sudden rush of wind blew through St. Jude's, ruffling hair and bringing forth the cacophony of joy into the stillness of the night. It felt as if God's glory enveloped them, whispering promises of the forthcoming. Emma felt a cascade of peace wash over her. It was no longer just about Samuel's healing. It was about their collective journey, a revelation that would reach deep into the fabric of the world, taking creation one heartbeat at a time. Faith as their anchor. As sentiments filled the air, the final thread of doubt fell away. Their hearts beat as one, echoing through the tapestry they had woven. United together, they would continue to stand firm in the face of life's uncertainties. In that sacred space of fellowship, they understood that their faith would carry them forward, embracing the divine call to action, moving into a future illuminated with love, hope, and eternal miracles. The time for transformation was now. The gathering ended with hearts full of prayers and commitments, not just for healing, but for living out the embodiment of faith. Emma had seen the ripples of grace extend far beyond the walls of St. Jude's, and she felt a whisper from within affirming her spirit this was only the beginning of their radiant journey. As the last prayer lifted that night, she felt an urgent call to action echo within her. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support for these divine stories of faith. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and let others experience these manifestations. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this ending, and how this story has sparked your own journey. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this powerful manifestation. Don't wait even one more second to uplift your brothers and sisters with these stories and revelations that transform everything.